Hello guys! Kamusta po kayong lahat? And welcome back to my official YouTube channel. For today's episode, ang ipapakita ko po sa inyo is the 1994 PBA All-Filipino Cup Game 6 of the Championship Series between the San Miguel BEERMEN and CONEY Island. In this game po, mag-uumpisa po tayo sa middle of the second quarter na because medyo nakurap na po itong tape. Hindi na namin na-restore yung first part. So, pagpasensyahan niyo po ito kasi medyo luma na rin yung tape. But this is a very good game and I hope mag-enjoy kayo na panoorin. So, sama-sama po nating tignan itong game na to.
Kaidik, 3 points!
Pressure in the backcourt by Coney Island Ice Cream. 5:06 to go in the second quarter. And San Miguel with a big 17-point spread. Illegal defense. Peter Naron is caught pitching a tent inside the paint.
Warning to Coney Island Ice Cream. Peter Naron for illegal defense.
And look at this. Coney Island Ice Cream desperately needs to put points on the board. 39-22. There's an offensive foul called on Ramos. An illegal pick. By the way, later on at Keen's Nutravim halftime report, the beautiful Miss Ana Miguel will take you to Vintage's World of Sports with an invitation to watch the Ugarte Football Cup Championship happening on Sunday. And of course, the halftime analysis and dugout reports will be given to us by Butch Maniego and Jim Kelly. Look at Yves Dignadice.
Now, we were talking to you earlier about a possible back problem, and I think that has been confirmed now. Dignadice is suffering some pain in his back, and that's why he'll have to nurse his minutes on the floor. Now, earlier we mentioned that Dignadice has been saddled with 2 personal fouls. We're having that checked. We don't see any marking on the board as far as Dignadice's foul, so he may be clean at this time. Or is it 1 foul?
No.
No foul. Okay, no foul. So we want to correct ourselves. No foul on Yves Dignadice.
Alvin Patrimonio with that big spin.
And what a shot by Alvin Patrimonio. He didn't have an easy shot, and he had to work for that turnaround.
14-point lead still by San Miguel. Calma is open. In and out, and Kevin Ramos loses it to the end line. Four minutes, 22 seconds remaining in the second period.
Now you notice that Coney Island is starting to double Alan Kaidik in the perimeter. And they feel they can gamble on that because Kevin Gramas is not known to be an explosive scorer inside. Neither is Alvin Teng.
A lot of turnovers by Coney Island Ice Cream in this first half.
But the shooting percentage of San Miguel Beer is now starting to dip. Again, take a look at the defense that Coney Island is playing on Alan Kaidik and Ato Agustin outside.
Glenn Capascio trailing Ato Agustin picks up his first personal foul. That is the third team foul for Coney Island. San Miguel Beer with 4. The time down to 3:49 here in the second period.
You know, it's interesting that in the double teaming defense of Coney Island, sometimes it's Jericho Dinera in the perimeter. Now, if San Miguel Beer only had a more potent scorer inside, they may be able to take advantage of this situation.
Ato Agustin decides to pop and he misses. Frankie Lim in the front court. His pass goes out and referee Bartolome calls it in favor of Coney Island to the consternation of Alan Kaidik, who claims he never touched the ball. Well, that's what happened. We have a timeout by San Miguel Beer. (39-25), a 14-point lead by San Miguel Beer with 3.5 minutes remaining here in the second quarter. Glenn Capascio has it against Ato Agustin. Patrimonio against Ramos. Traveling on Alvin, called by referee De Leon. Nothing seems to be going right for Coney Island Ice Cream. Remember, Coach Chot Reyes, as you take a look at that miscue by Patrimonio, Chot Reyes has already called 2 timeouts very early in this second quarter. So he has a total of 3 already going into the last few minutes of the second period. Kaidik against Evangelista. That's the double team.
Yes. And Alvin Teng coming out to play the double team defense.
2 seconds on the shot clock of San Miguel. Snap shot. Alan Kaidik is short. That's not going to count. 25-second violation on San Miguel Beer.
Now that's a good call because that ball did not hit the board or the rim. Might have hit the net, but that won't count. That's still an air ball, and that's why they'll call that 25-second violation in San Miguel Beer. Good call.
Still a commanding 14-point lead. Nice getaway by Evangelista.
And Evangelista has not scored a single point in this game so far, Ed.
He's been pushing some right buttons, but he just can't follow through.
Well, Evangelista is being kept in the game for defensive purposes, but they certainly could use his offense. Remember, he scored 22 points in game number 5, which Coney Island won. So far, he has been blanked.
First personal foul on Ray Evangelista.
But he's done a good defensive job on Alan Kaidik, so you can't take that away from him. Talk about defense.
Cordillera with a shot block, but it goes to Hector Calma. Here's Kaidik. Nice tap by Glenn Capaccio. Fast break play, broken up by Hector Calma, but it'll stay with Coney Island Ice Cream. Credit the defensive stands by Hector Calma, however.
Well, you call that experience, and also some good foot speed on the part of Hector Calma.
Yeah.
Of course, he'll have the advantage in any foot speed race between him and Jerry Cordillera.
2 minutes and 18 seconds remaining in the second quarter. Jerry's follow-away won't go, and Alvin Teng stretches out for the rebound.
Again, Cordillera preferring to take the shots from medium range rather than power his way inside where he can get higher percentage shots.
Calma. Nice tap by Patrimonio. Ray Evangelista gets it over to the point guard, Frankie Lim. Here's Patrimonio inside.
Oh, that's a big basket.
Yes, that'll count.
Alvin Patrimonio getting the 3-point play opportunity.
Kevin Ramos, in the meantime, is called for his second personal foul.
Now in that particular play, Ed, we'd like to be able to say that Alvin Patrimonio and Pure Foods, or rather Coney Island as a whole, really was aggressive in taking the ball strong to the hoop. Now previous to that, the offensive thrusts have been rather tentative. They're being stymied and they're being controlled somewhat or influenced by the tough defensive stance of San Miguel Beer. Coney Island must be more aggressive and take it strong to the hoop.
Well, in the first half, as we said, it was a virtual shootout as both teams exploded from the outside. But off the buzzer at the start of the second quarter, actually started at the end of the first period, San Miguel Beer buckled down to work and was able to post the biggest lead at 17 points. Alan Kaidik.
Now, Alan had 14 points in the first period, Ed. But remember, we were talking about why Ray Evangelista is in this game, despite the fact he has not contributed a single point. He's been playing tough defense on Alan Kaidik. He's held him down to only, well, this could be his 4th point in this period. No, it's not. He's held him down to only 3 points here in the second period. And I guess you can call that, Jetta. Jetta niya si Alan Kaidik dito sa second quarter. And that's the reason why Evangelista is in this game.
He has a crowding style that Alan Kaidik seems to be unable as of yet to break away from as much as he'd like.
I also think that Coach Chot Reyes is doing the smart thing because Alan Kaidik had been hounded by Manny Victorino the last few games, and I think Alan Kaidik already knows how to elude the defense of Victorino. Kanya, a good defensive adjustment on the part of Chot Reyes. He put in a new man. And parang naninibago ngayon si Alan Kaidik.
Well, Alan is 6 out of 11 from the from the floor, and he now picks up his 3rd personal foul.
2 free throws for Alvin Patrimonio.
Some comparative numbers on Ray Evangelista. Right there.
Take a look at that. Ray Evangelista 0 out of 3 tonight, and game 5, 22 points. So you call that a big drop in production.
Meantime, Alvin Patrimonio at the line with 1 minute and 31 seconds remaining in the second quarter. Lead is down to 11. Remember, this was highest at 17 at 39 to 22. So it's an 8-2 run here by Coney Island Ice Cream to cut the lead. Alvin Tang. Kaidik, 4 seconds on the shot clock. There's a turnover for San Miguel. Fast break attempt here by Coney Island. Finally, Ray Evangelista scores his his first field goal.
Couldn't have come at a better time off a turnover.
Coney Island has now outscored San Miguel 10-2.
And of course the lead is now down to a single digit. Now I think the double teaming defense that Coney Island has shown here on Alan Kaidik in the perimeter, as well as Ato Agustin, beginning to reap dividends for the Ice Cream Stars. Again, we were saying about the lack of a good potential inside scorer for San Miguel Beer, so they're not able to exploit the advantage that San Miguel gets when the big man of Coney Island goes out to double team in the perimeter.
Ato Agustin, meanwhile, just goes about his usual chore of scoring, even with the tight defense employed by Glenn Capascio.
Nadiza is back in the basketball game, and there he is on top of Alvin Patrimonio.
Bad pass.
Case of miscommunication once more.
You look at that.
And there was
Shot
nobody
Reyes.
home.
Shot Reyes was not in uniform. Down to 15 seconds left here in the first half. San Miguel Beer with an 11-point lead, 43-32. Palma looking at the clock.
Ato Agustin tumbles down. No call.
De La Cruz hands it off to Agustin. There's that slap shot. He's been scoring from that same spot at least 3 times in this first half. Yeah, the second half, or the second quarter, ends with San Miguel Beer enjoying a big 13-point lead. San Miguel Beer and Coney Island Ice Cream, game number 6 of this best of 7 All-Filipino Conference Championships. Of course, going into this ball game, San Miguel Beer leading the series 3 wins to 2, and needs only this one to wrap up the series in 6 games in the All-Filipino Conference. Standing in their way, Coney Island Ice Cream, but San Miguel Beer looking good after 2 quarters. They're in the lead by 13 points at 45-32. Franz Pumaran is starting off in the point guard slot for San Miguel Beer here in the third quarter. He did a very fine job orchestrating the runaway by San Miguel Beer back in the first half. Illegal defense, that's going to be a technical now on Coney Island Ice Cream. That's their second infraction of the rule.
Coney Island Ice Cream, Jeremy Cordillera for illegal defense.
So a technical free throw here. Alan Kaidik is going to take it. And that'll stretch the lead to 14. The biggest lead of the game, by the way, was 17 points, which was established by San Miguel Beer back in the second quarter. Here's Franz Pumaran against Frankie Lim. Agustin is set up for the shot, and Jerry Cordillera grabs the rebound for Coney Island Ice Cream. Well, certainly the point guards of San Miguel Beer, Canito, have outshone the point guards of Coney Island Ice Cream. Pumaran and Calma have certainly contributed a lot to this big San Miguel lead.
Intimidating presence there of Don Polistico. Forced that miss by Ray Evangelista. And here's Ato Agustin.
Franz Pumaran heading it off to Alan Kaidik. He gets away!
Nobody home that time. The defensive rotation sleeping there in the part of Coney Island.
20 points for the trigger man. Here's Ray Evangelista. He's struggling on offense. Although, as you said, he's been doing a creditable job on Alan Kaidik on defense.
Well, Evangelista has the right idea, although he has scored only, is it 2 points in this game so far?
Correct.
He's taking the ball, he's attacking the defense of Alan Kaidik because he needs to be able to tire out Kaidik in defense and hope that somehow that takes away a little bit of his offense.
Let's see, Alan Kaidik is complaining about something.
Well, yes, I saw that. I saw that there was an accidental elbow that was thrown by Manny Victorino, and it hit Alan Kaidik in the corner of his eye. And that's the reason why the referee wanted to just make sure that things don't go out of hand.
Vince Hizon is open. No. By the way, Alan Kaidik has 3 personal fouls already. That's 3. Dong Polistico now has 6 rebounds in the game. Started off for San Miguel. Oh, nice play, but Alan Kaidik is hammered inside by Manny Victorino. A desperation attempt to stop Alan Kaidik from scoring, and look at here. Chot Reyes calls another early timeout at the start of the 3rd quarter. Alan Kaidik uncharacteristically missing that free throw, but they're on top by 16 points with 10:23 remaining in the 3rd quarter. A timeout by Coach Chot Reyes with barely a minute and a half gone by here in this period.
And look at the pressure here. Almost a turnover. Ran out of space, Ato Agustin. But again, the reason behind that near steal, the pressure defense in the backcourt by San Miguel Beer. That 1-2-2 defense has wreaked havoc on the offensive patterns of Coney Island.
49-32 is the count in favor of San Miguel Beer.
Alvin Patrimonio has to go to the perimeter just to touch that basketball. They're looking to set up Vince Hizon.
Manny Victorino is open. Not there, but Hizon takes it away from Franz Pumaren. They've got a fresh 25-second shot clock, but Manny Victorino with a quick 2.
And that time, inside points by Coney Island.
Credit the assist to Vince Hizon. But the lead, still a big 15-pointer by San Miguel Beer.
Franz Pumaren, he likes to go to that side of the court. And Alan Kaidik is now posting.
Big curl. Oh, difficult shot! Alan Kaidik, unbelievable.
Well, he went to his strong side. That's the left, because he's left-handed. And Coney Island should have been wise to that. They should have cut off his left side.
Alvin Patrimonio takes matters into his own hands, and he gets it to roll in. Back to a 15-point lead by San Miguel Beer. Here's Pumaren against Frankie Lim. Dong Polistico versus Jerry Cordillera with 5 seconds on the shot clock. Yves Dignadice, 2 seconds. Can't get it to go. Vince Hizon.
Well, the offensive breakdown there was getting the ball in the hands of Dong Polistico outside of the paint. He didn't know what to do with the ball.
Well, Jerry Cordillera, that's his strong suit.
Yes, and he's certainly someone who knows what to do with the ball inside the paint. Jerry Cordillera. We took up that point in our halftime analysis. He's certainly got to be more aggressive in bringing the ball closer to the hoop.
8 minutes and 19 seconds to go, 3rd quarter. Pumaren can't ring the bell from the outside. Vince Hizon into the front court. Wisely waits for his teammates. They go to Jerry Cordillera again, and a traveling violation called on Jerry.
Jerry Cordillera wanted to make it 2 in a row. Dong Polistico holding his ground. He's got that huge body, and that's bothering Jerry Cordillera. Now, Polistico must be, what, about 260 pounds at least?
I wouldn't be surprised.
And he's 6'7".
13-point lead here. Yves shakes off Frankie Lim, but it is spewed out by the rim. Another opportunity here for Coney Island I3 to trim down this lead further. He's on.
Incidentally, scoreless in this basketball game.
Turned around by Jerry Cordillera, and he picks up a foul. A big break there for Coney Island. Jerry Cordillera seemingly frustrated in the defense of Dong Polistico. Picked up the 3rd personal foul of Dong, and now has 2 chances at the free throw line.
Cordillera voted the best player of the conference. 27 years old, a product of the University of the East.
Meanwhile, we have a timeout by Norman Black. Filipino Conference Championship between San Miguel Beer and Coney Island Ice Cream. By the way, we'd like to tell you again about the PBA All-Star Weekend family. If you and your family are avid PBA fans, you can be our All-Star Weekend guest family. Simply tell us in a one-page letter why your family should be invited to the PBA All-Star Weekend. And you can tell us in the dialect that you're most comfortable in. Don't forget to include the names of 3 members of your family whom you would like to bring along. Sign the letter and mail it to PBA Mailbox, P.O. Box 1906 MCPO, Makati Metro Manila. Keep watching the PBA for a chance to see the PBA All-Star Games live in a weekend holiday on June 11 and 12 for your family of 4, absolutely free.
And that's what you call interior defense. Coney Island now flexing its muscles inside. Jericho Diniera fouled on the way to the hoop.
And Dom Polistico will pick up his 3rd personal foul. Well, here's that block, interior defense you were talking about,
yes.
Alvin Patrimonio.
And when you talk of aggressiveness, you've got to talk aggressiveness 2-way. One, the defense, and here, the aggressiveness of Jericho Diniera in taking the ball strong to the hoop.
Certainly some new fire being seen from the players of Coney Island Ice Cream as they cut the lead down to 10, 51-41. Remember, we started off this 3rd period with San Miguel enjoying a 13-point advantage. And that went up to 15 and 17, as I recall, at the start of this quarter.
And now the lead down to a single digit once more.
Remember, folks, if San Miguel pulls this one off, they win the All-Filipino Conference Championships tonight at Coney Island. Can stretch it to a sudden death playoff on Sunday. Alan Kaidek dishing it off to Agustin.
On that time, he drew 3 defenders. He saw the slight opening inside the lane. You look at that here. And look at the collapsing defense. And good rotation on the part of Coney Island. They knew that Alan Kaidik did not have a shot and he was going to dish off. But they had to foul Renato Agustin rather than get him to score the field goal.
And Agustin continues the silence of San Miguel Beer. Coney Island Ice Cream has delivered an unanswered 8-point string, an 8-0 run by Coney Island, which remains so.
And 2 big misses there on the part of Ato Agustin. And Coney Island now on the attack once more. They're on a hot streak.
Alvin Patrimonio holding the ball aloft, and here comes Jericho Diniera out to Vince. He's on goes for the 3. And nobody there for Coney Island Ice Cream for the rebound. Alan Kaidek fakes off Manny Victorino. Franz Pumaran is inside, and he's blocked by Patrimonio. No foul.
Once more, the interior defense of Coney Island holding up.
And joining the commissioner, Emilio Bernardino Jr., of course, and the president of Vintage Enterprises. The handsome man on your left there, of course, Mr. Ricky Velez and Mr. Sonny Barrios. 2 seconds on the shot clock of San Miguel, but Alvin Teng beats the shot clock buzzer.
Clutch basket there by Teng from the baseline. That's his favorite angle.
Alvin Teng only with 5 points so far here for San Miguel. Codinera gets Teng out of the way. Jerry now with 12 points after only scoring 4 in the first half.
Looks like Jerry Codinera has answered the wake-up call. One thing obvious also is that he's being set up on an isolation down low. And San Miguel Beer not quick enough to apply the double team on Jerry Codinera. Now they're having problems in offense. They can't seem to get a good shot off.
Taz Pumaran with a moment of hesitation, but he goes for the higher percentage shot. And San Miguel is back to a double-digit lead at 55-44. Frankie Lim is hemmed in. Nice pass by Jerry to Vince. He's on underneath. 55-46. Jerry Codinera is taking care of the offensive chores. Alvin Patrimonio has been manning that blue paint defensively on the other side with a lot of intensity and a lot of grit. Here's Alvin Tang. 5 seconds on the shot clock. Tang is open. Twisting shot won't go. Patrimonio has the rebound for Coney Island. They're down by only 9 now. 4:36 to go, third quarter. Patrimonio lobs it over to Jerry Cordillera. Here's Jerry against Alan Kaidik. Off balance. Manny Victorino gets it back to Jerry.
A big basket there by Jerry Cordillera. The defense of San Miguel Beer taking a short vacation here in the third period, allowing Cordillera that open
Yes, Patrimonio again with the defense of Coney Island Ice Cream, really humming now, courtesy of Alvin Patrimonio, and it's Norman Black's turn to push the button. Big comeback here by Coney Island Ice Cream to cut the lead down to 5 points. 3:53 to go in the third quarter.
And Ed triggered by Jerry Cordillera, who has scored 10 points in this period alone. And we were talking about how assertive he must be on offense. He's certainly showing why he deserves the Best Player of the Conference award.
Another violation of the illegal defense rule. And we have Jim Kelly standing by now for the timeout update. Jim?
Well, just as you mentioned, the topic of discussion there was Jerry inside there, and he is just killing him, as Coach Norman said. You've got to keep him off the block, put a body on him, and get him out away from the basket, because he has helped raise the entire team's level of intensity here in the second half, or I should say the third quarter. Coach Norman challenged his players. He said, listen, guys, it's only halfway through the second half. Our level has got to raise as much as theirs do, or we're going to lose all the momentum here. But the big concern was defensively, keeping their big men away from the box.
Thank you, Jim. Big pass there by Mon Fernandez to Alvin Tang. Fernandez just came in during the timeout.
What changes in the personnel here for San Miguel Beer? Yes, Fernandez did come in, as well as Hector Calman of Kaidik is not playing in the basketball game at this time.
That is back to an 8-point lead by San Miguel. But Alvin Patrimonio was just going to say that Jerry Cordillera was taking care of the offense. Patrimonio certainly with a sterling performance on defense for Coney Island in that big stretch where they cut the lead down to 5.
Now they're going to their main strength. Those are their bankers. We call them the money men. Alvin Patrimonio and Jerry Cordillera posting down low. And here's a breakaway. Oh, San Miguel Pier certainly needed that to ease the pressure, but it's Patrimonio once more. And Frankie Lee from outside. Not there. A sorry miss for Frankie.
Don Fernandez with a rebound. And here's the big guy bringing the ball down. Fernandez, of course, we've seen him do that countless of times. Alvin Tang against Jerry Cordillera. Agustin. Turn around. Jumper! Agustin! Lead is back in double digits for San Miguel Beer. It is a 10-pointer at 62-52. 2 minutes and 15 seconds left and a turnover. Juan Fernandez!
Hector Calma making things happen on defense, creating an opportunity for San Miguel Beer to score once more.
9-2 run by San Miguel Beer. Another timeout by Chuck Reyes. He has 2 left. Seven seconds on the shot clock of Coney Island. Tight pass inside to Jerry Cordillera from Ray Evangelista, who just came in during the timeout together with Richie Dixon and Glenn Capascio. And the lead of San Miguel Beer is 10.
That's right, a major overhaul in the combination that Coach Sean Reyes has on the floor. He needed to make some adjustments.
Juan Fernandez to Ato Agustin, air ball. Richie Dixon comes out of the fray.
Now Dixon can certainly pick up the tempo here for Coney Island. Again, they're looking to set up Jerry Cordillera.
Here's Glenn Capascio. Patrimonio attacks. Patrimonio rebounds. Evangelista is blocked and fouled. Ramon Fernandez. That's his second personal foul.
And Coney Island getting opportunities now to score from close range.
Remember, Coney Island was able to cut the lead down to only 5 points in this period.
Now we were talking about the close range shooting of Coney Island in this period. They're going 7 out of 8 from inside the paint and in this quarter alone. So they've completely changed the complexion or the style of their offense. In the first half, they took a lot of shots from outside. Here in the second half, they're going inside. That is their basic strength.
Meantime, Evangelista splits his charities and the lead is 9 for San Miguel Beer, 64-55.
Richie Dixon trying to keep in step with Hector Calma.
Less than a minute to go here in the third. Big rebound by Jerry Cordillera. After Richie Dixon. Down to 37 seconds. Remember, Chot Reyes only has 2 more timeouts to call. Evangelista splits the middle. Nothing. And we have a loose ball foul called on the play. This one on Ramon Fernandez. That'll be number 3 on him.
Look at that here. Ray Evangelista staying with it. He had a chance for an offensive rebound, but he was pushed out of the way.
San Miguel Beer now in the penalty. 22 seconds remaining in the third quarter. Dixon to Patrimonio. Dixon gets open. Goes to Evangelista. Dixon takes it. No. He still has... Whoa! Jerry Cordillera unable to save it at the end line. 8.9 seconds remaining in the third. It is a 9-point lead for San Miguel Beer. This is game 6 of the All-Filipino Conference Finals. Foul given up by Dixon. They are not yet in the penalty.
A good call and a good foul to give up by Coney Island. You're right. Coney Island not yet in penalty situation. That was the Stars' third team foul. 6.2 seconds left. You see the time. The bottom of your screens.
9-point lead by San Miguel Beer. Hector Calma takes it from left corner. He's short. Agustin too deep. Evangelista looks at the clock. He's not going to beat it. And at the end of the third, San Miguel leads by 9. 12 minutes. A full quarter to see if Coney Island can pull this out of the fire. Thank you very much, Butch Maniego. For Vintage Sports, this is Ed Pixon together with Kenito Henson starting out the fourth quarter between San Miguel and Coney Island. Remember, San Miguel leading the series 3-2 in this best of 7.
And the scoring by quarters. You see some low points there in the part of Coney Island's offense. 18 and 14 in the first half for only 32 points. But exploding in the third to get the measure of San Miguel Beer to the tune of 23 and 19.
Alvin Patrimonio.
This is his payoff period.
Whoa!
He's going to go for the basket at every opportunity. You can bet on it. The captain is going to go on a rampage here. This is winning time.
19 points for Patrimonio. Art de la Cruz. 10 seconds on the shot clock. Mon Fernandez certainly has provided the leadership here. Whoops! Well, after Coney Island cut the lead down to 5, Mon Fernandez and Hector Calma were fielded in by Coach Norman Black, and they were able to up the lead once again to double digits.
And now the pressure is getting to San Miguel Beer.
Patrimonio might have been a bit over-eager on that shot. The lead is 7. Mon Fernandez goes for the hoop and misses. Here comes Jerry Cordillera. Richie Dixon, the rookie. Glenn Capascio. Ray Evangelista. Patrimonio kicks it out to Glenn. 5 seconds on the shot clock. Dixon is open for the three. No. But a good effort as Dixon taps the ball out of bounds. We have 10:19 to go here in the fourth quarter of Game 6.
Defensive rotation of San Miguel Beer, putting the ball in the hands of rookies to take the pressure shots.
Well, Vince Hizon has been sent in by Coach Chot Reyes for Richie Tixon. Ives Dignadiza is back for Art De La Cruz on the San Miguel side. Ramon Fernandez. 6 on the shot clock. Alan Kaidik picks it up and out to take it. Yes!
Alan Kaidik, baseline jumper.
Big bucket by Alan Kaidik. And a steal! Evangelista, however, is able to recover it. Here's Ray Evangelista looking around, finds Hizon with a 3-point shot. And Teng has the rebound for San Miguel. It is a 9-point lead for the Beermen at 66-57. Lob pass too high for Dignadiza from Agustin.
Right idea, but the wrong pass.
San Miguel looking to end the series tonight. But Coney Island is definitely standing big in the way.
And Coach Chot Reyes continuing to take a big gamble. Vince Hizon taking a lot of pressure shots and missing them. And earlier, Richie Tixon.
The tap from behind by Alvin Teng. Passes another turnover. San Miguel in the lead by 9 points with 9 minutes remaining in the fourth quarter. Agustin, no basket there. Referee Bartolome calls the third personal foul on Ray Evangelista.
Everyone holding his breath here at the Cuneta Astrodome.
We can feel it.
And anything can still happen. As we were saying, the mood here is fever pitch. And Frankie Lim coming in. Now, we earlier mentioned, as we described Frankie Lim as a pressure player, if they need pressure 3-point shots, they might be able to get it from Frankie Lim.
Oh, what a sorry miss. Nice play between Dignadiza and Teng.
And look at Alvin Patrimonio bringing up the basketball.
Ray Evangelista is lobbed inside to Jerry Cordillera.
The bread and butter play of Coney Island. Again, the big man at work.
His third personal, second team.
Alvin Teng has 3. 8 minutes, 39 seconds remaining. This is the fourth quarter of this game. And it's a 9-point lead by San Miguel Beer. San Miguel has 2 team fouls. Coney Island 1. And remember, Chot Reyes only has 2 more timeouts to call. Norman Black is left with 3.
And Cordillera, 6 out of 10 from the floor in this game. He misses the free throw. Cordillera shooting 68% in the finals from the stripe before game number 6. He's averaging 15 points, so make that 16 points in this game so far, but he's averaging 15 points before game number 6.
Jerry only scored 4 points in the first half, but has certainly picked up the slack here in the second period. A lot more is needed by Coney Island from him. Alan Kaidik is open! Kaidik with his 5th 3-point shot.
The slightest
number
opening.
5.
And look at Alvin Patrimonio. He wants the ball up high. Another pressure-packed triple attempt by Vince Hizon. Again a miss.
San Miguel leads by 11. Kaidik is open again! Not that time. Evangelista to the rebound. Frankie Lim forward to Vince Hizon. Barrels through on the fast break.
One of the rare transition baskets we've seen in this game.
Oh, yes. Again, the San Miguel Beer lead is 9 points.
And look at the pressure defense of Frankie Lim on Ato Agustin Fernandez. He's got the opening. He can drive either to his left or right.
Kicks it out to Allen. 3 seconds on the shot clock. Down to 2. And a big break for San Miguel Beer as there is a foul on Jerry Cordillera.
And a big break indeed. Look at this attempt by Alan Kaidik. Nothing but net.
Meantime, we have a timeout by Norman Black. Alan Kaidik from the free throw line gives San Miguel Beer another 10-point lead with 7 minutes, 24 seconds remaining in this ball game.
Now you notice that Coach Norman Black has 3 big men in the ball game: Fernandez, Dignatiza, and Alvin Teng. He's not using a natural point guard in the game. Neither Calma nor Pumaren is playing in this game because he wants Kaidik and Agustin to be playing together. They're the 1-2 punch of Coach Norman Black, and Kaidik gives up the foul.
That is the 4th personal on Alan Kaidik. 3rd team foul for San Miguel Beer.
Patrimonio, you know that he wants the basketball. He's getting the feel of it even in the long court. There he is. He's taking his position down low. Dignadiza playing denial.
Manny Victorino is back in the game. Jerry Cordillera gets the pass. Nice entry pass by Manny Victorino.
And Alvin Teng can't seem to muscle Jerry Cordillera out of the paint.
I think the instructions are to lob the pass inside to Jerry and let him jump for it. Alvin Teng out to Mon Fernandez. Not there. The lead is 9 points for San Miguel. Frankie Lim. Vince Hizon.
They're looking for the perimeter jumper.
Here's Patrimonio. They clamp down on him. Hizon hesitating to take the shot. Frankie Lim buries it. That's a 3. That's the 3rd 3-point conversion by Frankie Lim, and it cuts the lead down to 6 points.
And a good decision on the part of Vince Hizon. He had been missing consistently from 3-point range, and they were setting up for the 3-point shot. As I mentioned, Frankie Lim, a pressure player. He's got a lot of championship experience.
At this juncture, we'd like to show you the Modellite Break Fluid Fast Break. Watch this as a turnover occurs. Mon Fernandez. Oh, we haven't seen him do that in a long time. It's great to see him doing that again. But the more important thing is the lead is cut down to 6, and there's a steal by Jerry Cordillera. Coney Island now on the attack. Vince Hizon up against Ato Agustin. Time down to 5 minutes and 40 seconds. Cordillera kicks it out to Frankie. Lim gets a good look at the basket. And Alvin Teng has the rebound for San Miguel Beer. 71-65 is the count in favor of San Miguel. Time down to 5 minutes and 25 seconds in the 4th quarter. Agustin tries to shake off Vince Hizon, and Hizon will be called for the foul.
Foul on Vince Hizon. His 2nd personal, 13th foul for Coney Island Ice Cream.
2nd foul on Vince Hizon. Coney Island now has the same number of team fouls as San Miguel, 3.
A lot of time has elapsed here in the 4th period, and only one player has scored for San Miguel Beer. That's Alan Kaidik. He has scored all of San Miguel's 7 points here in this period alone.
Nives Dignadice.
Too tentative. They're looking tentative now in offense. Ato Agustin. He can't buy a basket. He's only got 3 points the entire second half so far. We're more than halfway past the 4th period, and only one player from San Miguel Beer has scored.
Oh, bad pass by Manny Victorino. Intended for Jerry Cordillera. It hit the bottom of the rim and went out of bounds. Still a 6-point lead for San Miguel Beer. 4 minutes and 44 seconds remaining.
And a lot of wasted opportunities on the part of Coney Island.
Here's Agustin.
He has been silenced here in the second half. As I mentioned, only 3 points here in the period or in the half. And they'll call the technical foul. Illegal defense violation.
Jim Kelly is ready with a timeout update. Let's hear from him. Jim?
Well, during the last timeout, Coach Norman talked about the anticipated press that Coney Island was going to put on him. At that time, he had 3 big men in the game, and he was trying to get Alvin and Atto in the center of the floor to do more of the scoring. Unfortunately for San Miguel, the Coney Island pressure, especially in the backcourt, was a little bit too much. They pulled Moan out of the game. They went with Franz Pumarin in there, but they're still having problems getting their offensive going, except for Allen, as you said, up on top there. Down this end of the court there, they've elected to double team Alvin Patrimonio. However, they're letting Jerry go all alone, one-on-one, and that's been their big problem the entire second half. He's getting good inside position. Norman continues to say, let's just get him out of the low post area. Let's keep him out of his sweet spot. Back to you guys upstairs.
Oh, what a nifty pass it would have been if Dignadisa had only been able to hang on to it and score. Right now, though, San Miguel with a 7-point lead. Alan Kaidik, set up by Dignadisa, is short. Oh, Coney Island Ice Cream just gave up a technical free throw. That's the 3rd time that they've been slapped with a technical on illegal defense in this ball game. Meantime, the time is down to 4:05. Still a 7-point lead by San Miguel Beer.
Evangelista. And they'll call the illegal defense on San Miguel Beer.
There's a technical free throw for Coney Island Ice Cream, and the captain will take it. 72-65. Time down to 3 minutes, 59 seconds in the 4th. Patrimonio with 20 points in the game.
And the question that we ask, which team will succumb to the pressure?
Or will keep their composure? Evangelista.
Jericho Dinero, again he's setting up, Ed.
Yes. But Frankie decides to take the 3-pointer. Jerry goes for it. And Coney Island has another opportunity. Manny Victorino at the Frankie Lim. Coney Island still down by 6. The tap by Dignadise on Patrimonio.
And what defense on the part of Ives Dignadise.
72-66. Still a 6-point lead by San Miguel Beer.
And San Miguel Beer slowing it down. That may not be a good idea for the Beermen.
There is a foul given up. Manny Victorino with his 3rd personal. That's team foul number 4 for Coney Island Ice Cream. Time down to 3 minutes and 15 seconds. 6-point lead by San Miguel.
Look at this double team on Alvin Patrimonio. Actually, almost like a triple team.
Pumaran with a Dignadise, big offensive rebound and a putback. That is only the first 2 points of Ives Dignadise, but what a time for it to come. We have another timeout. 3 minutes and 8 seconds remaining in this ball game, and San Miguel Beer now with an 8-point lead. Look at the timeouts remaining. Coney Island only with 1, San Miguel with 2.
And the team foul situation, you saw that flashing your screen.
Neither team in the penalty at this juncture.
Coney Island with 4 team fouls and 3 for San Miguel Beer.
Evangelista going on 1-1 against Dignadise.
What a strip job by Ives Dignadise.
Oh, yes.
He lost the handle, the ball going out of bounds.
Dignadise has made it known that blue paint is his territory.
This is going to be a critical inbound play.
There's Dignadise again. 2 minutes and 47 seconds remaining, but only 6 seconds on the shot clock of Coney Island Ice Cream in this inbounds play. San Miguel in the lead by 8.
I was going to say that Dignadise has figured in the last 2 defensive plays.
Oh, but that time he couldn't prevent Patrimonio from sinking it from the outside.
And that was a big basket by Alvin Patrimonio. That lead is now down to 6 once more.
Vance Pumaran against Frankie Lim. Alan Kaidik turning against Evangelista. That'll only be the 15th foul for Coney Island, but the 4th personal foul on Ray Evangelista.
Alan Kaidik has the right idea. Now Coney Island is in penalty situation. He's looking to drive and pick up the foul. Now
Oh, what a pass! Alan Kaidik with a nifty pass to Ives Digadise. The lead of San Miguel is 8 points once again.
And what a smart play by Alan Kaidik. Coney Island's defense expecting a drive.
Last 2 minutes of the game brought to you by Emperador Brandy. Dito na tayo sa totoo, Emperador Brandy. Coney Island is not giving up. They're still within striking distance.
And not by a long shot. And Frankie Lim giving up the foul in the backcourt. That will send Franz Pumarin to the line.
1 minute, 51 seconds remaining.
2 close-in shots here by Ives Dignadise. And he gives the Pistol Pete sign.
And the San Miguel Beer fans somehow smell the sweet aroma of victory, but make no mistake about it, Coney Island is still in this fight.
And Franz Pumarin missing his free throw.
Franz Pumarin is a 92% shooter, 11 of 12 going into this ball game from the free throw line.
And talk about pressure, 2 out of 3. Now 3 out of 4 from the line.
And Chot Reyes calls his very last timeout for this game.
And a string of 3-point baskets. You know that Frankie Lim has hit 3 in this basketball game. Alvin Patrimonio can hit it as well. Glenn Capascio and Vince Hison are also in the game, and you know they're there for 3-point purposes. So they're probably looking to bomb from outside.
Coach Chot Reyes has just called his last timeout. Patrimonio at low post against Dignadise goes strong to the hole, and the lead is down to 5. 1:38 to go.
And here's pressure from the backcourt. They're trying to trap.
Jerry Cordilleras in the way of Alan Kaidik. Here's Franz Pumarin, Ato Agustin.
They're looking to eat up some more time from the clock.
Here's Alan Kaidik zigzagging out to Franz Pumarin. He takes the shot. Not there, but San Miguel Beer has possession. 1 minute and 14 seconds to go. San Miguel with a 5-point lead.
Another offensive reset.
Remember that Coney Island is already in the penalty. San Miguel Beer is not.
Still a lot of time on the shot clock. 12 seconds. Coney Island not fouling. A decoy play. Ato Agustin to Alvin Teng. And Coney Island electing not to give up the foul and put San Miguel Beer on the stripe in that play. Capascio from outside, not there.
And a loose ball foul is going to be called. Looks like Jerry Cordillera will be called for that. And remember that Coney Island is in the penalty, so that'll give 2 shots to Alvin Teng. The lead of San Miguel is 7 points. Time down to 47.3 seconds. And look at the San Miguel Beer 5 on the hard court.
Well, Norman Black is already exchanging high fives with his players. There's still a lot of time left, 47.3. But if Alvin Teng sinks these free throws, it may be a lost cause for Coney Island.
Remember, Chot Reyes has run out of timeouts. And you hear the big San Miguel crowd here at the Cuneta Astrodome chanting San Miguel. Alvin Teng showing a lot of composure.
Now Olsen Rosella is in the basketball game.
It is an 8-point lead now by San Miguel.
They've taken Frankie Lim out of this game. It may not be a wise idea considering that Frankie Lim is a potent 3-point scorer. Let's see what Olsen Rosella can do.
He gets it off to Glenn Capascio, takes the 3-point shot. Ives Dignadise.
And what a big rebound. And San Miguel Beer looks like he's going to hang on to win this championship.
It's certainly, well, all indications really point to that now. With only 34.4 seconds, and Coach Chot Reyes throws in the white towel.
And the photographers are starting to enter the high court. Wait a minute, wait a minute. It takes that over.
Alvin Patrimonio is now relieved. So with Jerry Cordillera, that is the white towel being thrown by Coach Chot Reyes.
And Ed, Coney Island had a lot of opportunities, particularly in the 4th period. They had open 3-point shots, but the pressure got to a lot of the youngsters. Vince Hison missed one 3-point attempt after another. Frankie Lim hit 3 but couldn't hit the 3-point shot consistently when it mattered.
But I tell you, Kinito, a gallant stand by Coney Island Ice Cream right down the wire.
Oh, without a doubt, Coney Island, I think, will still need some experience to be able to play the kind of savvy basketball that San Miguel Beer has shown here. And again, we were talking about how defense has been the key to San Miguel's victories here in the final series. And take a look at Coney Island's score at this moment, 74 points. And we go back to the slide that we showed our viewers in the pregame. In the games that San Miguel Beer has won here in the finals, they have been able to hold Coney Island down to 85 points. In the games that they have lost, Coney Island has averaged 98. Right now, Coney Island is down to 74.
Alan Kaidik is again at the line. We're settling the issue here of the official score. Right now, it stands at 84-74. 23.9 seconds remaining.
And Ives Digdadise is being lifted off the floor. Digdadise had 4 points, did a tremendous job on defense, playing with a bad and bruised back. He was playing hurt.
Vince Hison, Glenn Capascio. Just
And again,
those shots just wouldn't drop.
Coney Island succumbing here to the defensive pressure of San Miguel Beer, and Vince Hison giving up the foul on Franz Pumaren. Again, we were talking about the contributors in offense for San Miguel Beer, and at one point here in the fourth period, Ed, it was almost an all Alan Kaidik show.
Well, there is mayhem on the hard court now as the photographers have now crowded around the San Miguel Beer bench and have overflowed into the hard court.
Well, it looks like assistant coach Chito Narvaza has gone over to the bench of San Miguel Beer to extend his congratulations.
Same with Chot Reyes.
Yes, same with Chot Reyes. So they have indeed raised the white flag with 6.2 seconds to go. And what a gesture of sportsmanship on the part of Chot Reyes and Chito Narvaza. You can't take anything away from the Coney Island Ice Cream Stars. As you said, a gallant stand, but this is a complete reversal from what happened in the first conference last season, when San Miguel Beer won the first game and then lost the next 3, won the 5th game, and Coney Island wrapped it up in 6. This time, it is San Miguel's Beer to reign on top of the first conference.
San Miguel Beer goes to Hiroshima. San Miguel Beer, the 1994 All-Filipino Conference champions. As you see the confetti and the balloons rain down on the hard court, Norman Black, team manager Eddie Veneracion, given the traditional victory rides.
And Frankie Aismendi,
yes,
no less than the president of San Miguel Corporation, also being given a victory ride.
Certainly a hard-fought series, which ends with in San Miguel Beer as the victors in 6 games, winning games 2, 3, 4, and 6. Coney Island taking games 1 and 5.
And the Beermen certainly worked hard for this victory, but again, we can't overemphasize the fact they did it with excellent, pure, unadulterated defense, holding Coney Island down to 74 points here in Game 6. Defense had to be the key to the final series.
And in the background, the strains of a San Miguel Beer commercial,
And despite
serving as the background for the celebration of the San Miguel Beer players, employees, and fans.
I was going to say, Ed, that San Miguel Beer pulling off this championship victory despite the fact that Samboy Lim was not able to play in this final series.
That is correct. Samboy Lim has gone out to the dugout with a lot of smiles. Meanwhile, our colleague Ronnie Nathaniels is ready with the winning coach, Norman Black. Here's Ronnie.
Okay, Norman, big moment for you. Congratulations.
Thank you very much, Ronnie. I'd like to thank a few people if I can. First, I'd like to thank the good Lord upstairs for giving us the help to win this championship. I also like to thank the Coney Island team and Coach Chuck Reyes, who I think did a great job in this conference, throughout the entire conference, taking his team as far as he did. I'd like to thank all my players and the management, and this is one happy moment for everybody associated with San Miguel Beer, Ronnie.
Of course, there were moments in this game you might have felt a little concerned.
Well, whenever you get down to this part of the season, you always feel a little concerned, especially after last game when we lost. I wanted to try to pick up the pieces and try to get us back on track tonight. Once again, our defense held up well, and our offensive players like Alan Kayadik and Otto Augustine came through once again.
Your veterans helped you out. Alan Kaidik, Hector Calma, Ives Dignodice. They played big moments when you needed them the most.
Well, Ronnie, I think these guys felt just a little teeny bit insulted by the fact that everybody was saying that the younger legs would prevail in the end, and that these guys were pretty much on their way out, etc., etc. They really wanted to show everybody that they're at the peak of their careers and they can still play with anybody in the league.
If you look around, on to Hiroshima. That's a big moment for you.
Big moment for me, but if this was pressure, that'll be triple pressure, because now we'll be representing the country and not just San Miguel Beer. We'll start preparing as soon as possible. We'll start scouting all the teams that will be participating, and we'll be ready for the Asian Games.
You know, normally if you think of one product where people around the world know, it's San Miguel Beer. So San Miguel Beer represented in that sense is a natural.
Maybe it's just fitting because, as you know, San Miguel Beer is an international product and it's sold all over Asia. So definitely it'll be good that we'll be there in Asia.
You've been a part of this country since 1981, Norman. We've sort of felt or taken you as one of our own. Now you'll be coaching the national team. That must be a lot of pride for you.
It's really a lot of pride for me, Ronnie, and it's also a lot of responsibility too. But I think I'm up for the task. I think I have a very competent coaching staff. Also, as a consultant, I have Ron Jacobs with us, so he's been through that battle before. I have the experience that I had with Sonny Jaworski in 1990, so I'll just try to rely on the people around me and also my experience to hopefully come out a winner in Japan.
Have you ever had time to think of who are the amateurs you might get into this lineup?
Well, I have a few names. I won't talk about it now, but there's about 5 names that I think they really deserve to have a chance to play for the national team, Ronnie.
Norman, congratulations. Good luck to you. See you in Hiroshima.
Thank you very much. Thank you. Thank you.
Okay, we'll take a break and come back with the panel in just a moment.
Representatives in the Asian Games in Hiroshima, they'll be representing the country.
Tayo dito, third conference championship, umuulan. Maliit ang payong ngayon, ho, malaki ang payong namin. Ito po ang celebration dito sa San Miguel. Dagat, umulan ako. Napakalakas. Kayo muna yung interviewin namin, sir. Sandali lang po.
Pray daw eh.
Ano hong maipapangako nyo sa mga, hindi lamang sa fans nyo, pero dahil dito i-representa natin ang buong Pilipinas?
Ang maipapangako ko, Chino, I don't think I can promise that we will bring back the championship to the Philippines. But what I can promise the fans of San Miguel and the basketball fans of the Philippines is we will really play our heart out. Kung kailangan kami umuwi ng pahilahod, uuwi kami. So one thing I can commit is definitely the team will try its best. Yun ang aming commitment. Yun ang aming pangako.
Okay, salamat po, sir.
Manalo, ibang usapan yan.
Salamat po, sir.
Thank you very much. Sa loob.
Ito. Alvin, nakita namin yung laro nyo. Ano ba nagtulak sa inyo talaga para kunin tong koronan to? Ano yung motivation nyo?
Maganda yung rotation namin at saka desidido kami manalo talaga. Yung parang wala nang laban, kaya kailangan manalo talaga.
Masarap ba maglaro sa national team?
Oo, una-una gusto ko pumunta sa Hiroshima. Kaya magkaroon ng experience.
Alan! first championship mo na All Filipino. Gaano kasarap to?
Masaya talaga kami dahil magre-represent kami sa Hiroshima at long last yung added pressure na overcome namin.
Ayan! Itong All Filipino, i-represent nyo yung bansa natin, pero yung grupo nyo parang yung grupo nyo dati nung NCC. Masarap ba na parang second time around gagawin nyo ulit?
Oo, syempre. Pero ang una sa lahat na gagawin namin is una sa lahat na gagawin namin syempre is magpahinga, no? Ipagalingin yung mga injuries namin and then mag-concentrate ngayon pagkatuan yung second conference bago pa yung Hiroshima. Pero masaya kami. Kami ang representative sa Hiroshima.
Okay, congratulations, Alan.
Siya nga pala, magpapasalamat ako sa lahat ng tumulong sa amin, yung mga PT sa Philippine Orthopedic Institute. Sa inyo lahat, salamat sa mga support nyo, sa fans, sa Converse, sa kanyang dalawang anak ko. Maris, Ina, hi.
On! Napakaraming Corona Championship pinaglaruan mo. Gaano kasarap ipanalo itong, kumbaga, shooting two birds with one stone?
Well, very memorable din to. Considering that I'm wearing jersey number 19 and this is my 19th championship, so it feels good to be to win this one and to be drinking the whole night.
Paul, sabi ng marami and then you said it yourself, baka ito ng last shot mo or last conference, last season mo.
Yeah, as I broke down my career, this is supposedly my last season, right?
Makakapagpahinga ka na ba now that not only have you won another All Filipino pero national team na naman?
Well, that's the best prize, I guess, no, that we got aside from winning the championship this time, no. We'll be able to represent our country to the Hiroshima Games, so I think that's a lot of goodwill for us.
Okay, congratulations.
Thank you.
Hector! Nagsimula itong series na to, maraming nagda-doubt do sa capabilities mo, pero nung championship mukhang bumata ka uli. Ano bang ginawa mo parang bumalik yung laro mong dati?
Well, pinractice yung shooting ko. And kasi nawala yung confidence ko nga yung mula nung nag-start yung semis, no? So, sa tuwing practice, a goaler mga an hour earlier, practice ko yung shooting ko, yung game ko. So, nag-ano naman nung finals.
Hector, another All Filipino, tapos ngayon nasa national team. Magkakasama kayo, pati yung parang nagsiserve na tatay mo si Ron Jacobs, makakasama nyo. Gano'ng kasarap yung feeling? Kumbaga, love the second time around.
Oh, medyo maganda, nagkasama-sama ulit, no? Lalo na si Ron. Medyo makakatulong sa team namin.
Okay, Hec. Thank you. Ito pa isa. Franz, palaging nandun, tinutulungan mo pagka masama ang laro ni Hector, sinasambot mo. Ano nag-spell ng difference dito?
Well, siguro it only proves that there's no substitute for experience. Nakita naman nyo down the line, it's always yung experience namin and being veteran. And another thing, another incentive yung Hiroshima para sa amin.
Franz, nagkaroon ba kayo ng doubt sa sarili nyo? Nung nagsimula yung conference, sabi nila, kayo ang malamang pupunta ng Hiroshima. Pero dito ba sa ligang to, dito sa conference in particular, have you ever doubted yourself panatalo nyo?
Well, in the first place, nung una, no, hindi na gano'n kasing pressure since kagaya nung last year. At least we were able to prove themselves. Yung when started winning, sabi namin kaya namin makuha itong para sa Hiroshima. At least we're so excited to represent the Philippines once again.
Coney Island, anong masasabi mo sa Coney Island? Kahit mga bata, nandun sila.
Well, if you have Alvin and Jerry in your team, you're always gonna be a contender. And of course, you should give credit to the rookies.
Okay, maraming salamat. Yan po, nakausap na natin halos yung buong San Miguel crew. Hindi na ho tayo magpapatagal dito. Isang-isa na lang. Siguro, pivotal player to. Ato! Wow! Ano? Ato, pag critical yung laban, alam ng San Miguel kung sino pupuntahan, hindi mo sila ipinahiya dito sa conference na ito.
Oo, siyempre. Buti na lang nakuha na namin hindi na umabot ng Game 7.
Yung national team, alam ko, isa sa mga bagay na ginusto mo to dahil hindi mo masyadong nagamit yung bandera, no? Ngayon, Mabigat ito, isang team na malakas, nasa national team kayo. Anong pakiramdam?
Yun nga, masaya-masaya ako dahil lalo-lalo na first time ko sa Japan, di pa ako napupunta ng Japan. No, so this is my second time in the national team. Ano ko yung Pilipinas.
Mapapangako nyo ba sa mga Pilipinong hindi tayo mapapahiya sa Japan?
Pipilitin namin makuha yung doon. Yung corona doon.
Okay, tama na po ang paliguan dito. Nakaligo na ho kami ng buo. Ito po si Shiro Trinidad galing sa dugout ng San Miguel Beer. Baha na ho ng beer dito hanggang tuhod. Balik tayo sa taas. Andun po si Kinitot, si Ed Bigson.
So final score is 85-74 and panalo po ang San Miguel. Nag-champion po kami dito and ito po ay very prestigious for us kasi ang rule po dati is kung sinong mag-champion ng All-Filipino Cup na yon that year, magre-represent po sa Philippines para sa Asian Games. And talaga pong napakalaking karangalan para sa amin na manalo kami doon at ma-represent namin ng Philippines sa Asian Games. So kung titignan nyo po, dahil putol nga po yung game nung pinakita namin sa inyo, yung first part medyo corrupted, doon po kami nagkaroon ng cushion na lumamang. And nag-end up po ang halftime na lamang kami ng 13 points. Kung mapapansin nyo po, si Samboy Lim hindi naglaro because injured po siya. And si Ivesling Nadice is playing hurt all throughout the game. Kaya po talagang medyo bakbakan yung laban. Nakikita nyo, ilang beses dumikit po yung Coney Island. Siguro napapaba nila ng mga 5 points yung lamang namin 3 times. Kaya good thing in the end, na-sustain po namin yon. And kung mapapansin nyo, Mon Fernandez, ito po yung last year ni Mon sa PBA. This is his final year playing. Kaya po memorable din sa amin ito na naging bahagi rin siya ng championship na to. Parang number 19 siya, nabanggit niya rin sa interview, and ito pong championship na to is number 19 para sa kanya. 19 championship. And yun po, sana nag-enjoy kayo and maraming salamat for supporting. And don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to my channel. See you sa next one. Salamat po.